All right, let's give some predictions for this weekend. Have you seen a line on Pitt Wofford?
No.
What if I'll set a line then? Because they're not giving us one. They're not going to give it out until tomorrow morning, I believe. But I wanted to see if you had seen one. 38.5?
30. I would say 31.5.
You know, Penn State's favored by 20.5 over West Virginia. You're only going 11.5 points more for the Woffords? The Fighting Terriers?
Yeah, because Pitt isn't going to play their starters the whole game.
Yeah. So would you take Pitt at 31.5?
Yes.
Austin, would you take Pitt at 31.5?
I would. I think they're going to steamroll them. Wofford will only score 7.
I would say the same, but would you take Pitt at 38.5?
Probably.
I wouldn't. That's just a huge number.
Because their quarterback depth is better than it's ever been at the University of Pittsburgh. Every single one ever been, yes. Every single one of those backups, whether it's Bayou, however you ever say his name, we're going to struggle with that all year. Penn State transfer,
yeah.
Yes. Then you had the Diffenbach kid who came in, who's a freshman, who came in early. Every single one of those guys, and obviously Phil can start. Can be the starter. That's why.
38.5, I'd take Wofford. We had Carlos Ovco in earlier who talked about that Villanova game from a few years back, right before Pitt beat Penn State 42-39, and they just didn't show anything. I think even if they don't show anything, they'll beat the snot out of them. I just wouldn't go at 38.5. I would go at 31.5. All right, Penn State, West Virginia, tomorrow night, 7:30, NBC. Place is going to be bonkers. Does West Virginia cover, Doranson?
Of course they do. They go up there. It's the first game of the year. And I'm going to say this and show this right now on air.
Look at this!
I am rooting for the West Virginia Mountaineers. I have a West Virginia hat on right now that Crowley just threw to me. I'm rooting for West Virginia. I hope they win the game. I hope they go up there and they shock the world against Penn State, but they're not going to do that, but they will cover. The game the score will be 38-24. Penn State over West Virginia. And they cover.
Austin?
West Virginia will cover. It'll be by a narrowest of margins. I originally thought that WVU would lose by 3 touchdowns. I've softened to 35-17, the final score in favor of Penn State.
West Virginia will cover. 34-17 the final score. 2 stats that matter. 1, West Virginia, their last 4 games on the road as double-digit underdogs. They are 4-0 against the spread, and 2-2 straight up. Should be 3-1, but 2-2 straight up. So they will cover. The other stat, Penn State's got these great running backs. Their left tackles go to the NFL. If you look at the Pro Football Focus grade for the other 4 offensive linemen, not great. Not great. So there's that, and Penn State last year on rushes, 4 yards and under. They were 106th in the country, meaning that they had a lot of rushes that weren't all that efficient. Now, where they killed you was they'd break off the 80-yarders. So you stop a couple of the long ones, you're going to have a shot to cover. West Virginia will cover.